Hi, welcome to today's video. We're going to be watching the atrocious balance changes coming to DBD in 2025. This is a video by Choi. We're going to react to it. This guy, I'm not going to lie, this guy knows his stuff, okay? This guy, you can take his word. He's been right about a lot of the stuff that happens in Dead by Daylight. So I can only imagine that he's going to be right with the stuff that we're about to watch. Make sure you guys drop a damn like. What are you doing, man? Don't disrespect me, bro. All right, drop a like, man.
Going everyone, during the most recent anniversary live stream,
is the volume good?
Very subtly, almost like they were hoping no one would notice.
Wait, hold on, we're gonna start that over. But is the voice good? Are we good with that? Okay.
Very subtly, almost like they were hoping no one would notice, revealed a lot of upcoming changes, and some of these are, well, let's just say ambitious, while other changes feel like balanced decisions made by a committee of people who were traumatized by getting tunneled once in their life. This includes the new ability to see your teammates' builds in the pregame lobby before a match starts, as well as some major reworks coming to both maps and keys. But that's not all, as behavior is also reworking the MMR system to no longer just focus on kills and escapes.
Yeah, the MMR is going to be... The MMR update, the way I see it, is you're going to have to meet a threshold to win the match.
Plus, we're getting more base kit, built-in, no perks required, anti-tunnel, anti-cam, and anti-slugging. But don't worry, killer players, as behavior is also adding in base kit anti-gen rush too. Just kidding. Of course they're not. In fact, the only truly killer-sided change coming for killer players planned in the quality of life updates, making survivors spawn closer to each other at the beginning of a match, has suspiciously been removed from the planned quality of life changes altogether.
Wait, what did he just show there on the first one? The map offering is going to go away? They haven't done that yet, right? Because that's going to kill Scratch Mayor Myers. Like, it's over for him. Because I can't bring you to like RPD or Midwich. Myers is gone.
So today we're going to talk about all of these
Scratch Mayor Myers
changes coming to the game. There are some good ones too. I've highlighted them right here.
Hold up. Okay, so bad. Anti-cheat's good. More perk presets good. Keyboard and mouse on consoles is going to be a dub. I might take on learning keyboard and mouse, man. Custom game improvements. And then these, probably yellow because he doesn't know what's up. Reduce login steps. This is big time right here. And 2v8 play while you wait. That's going to be a dub. You know, they figured out a workaround because they don't want to buy servers. They don't want to expand. So they make a workaround. Man, that's crazy.
Green for you. The yellow is for things that should be good, but we don't have enough info yet for a conclusion. So let's start with being able to see your teammates' builds in the pre-game lobby. Now what?
All right, check this out. I don't know if he mentions it, but if I'm able to see my teammates' loadouts, bro, and there's no perks on one of the survivors or no mither, I'm out. I'm gone. You don't even got to worry about me staying in the lobby, son. I'm out of there. If I see a no mither, or I even see challenge builds, right? I'm out.
Once again, the devs are adding this to try to buff solo queue to match them up with the strength of Survive with Friends, even though that's literally impossible. So basically what's going to happen once this feature is implemented, since DBD is a very competitive game regardless of what a lot of the player base would like to pretend, players will start aggressively dodging lobbies if they don't like the builds of their teammate.
He hit me right in the forehead with that, son. He hit me right in the forehead. He ain't lying. I'm leaving the lobby, guys. Okay. If they even show a yellow perk or something in the lobby, bro, I already know what time it is. I'm out, son. Okay. I will take my time on backfill. You know what? Matter of fact, check this out, guys. Okay. You'll be able to know just how good your lobby's gonna be if they implement that feature. Because if I log into a lobby and I see finesse, windows, decisive strike, right, stuff like that. If I see a couple dead hards, I know I'm in a good lobby. I'm staying. But if they allow like the yellow perks to show and it's stupid, right? I'm out. I'm not even gonna sit around, bro. Like, no, you're not gonna. You can't even loot, bro. What are you using? Like, no. I need gangsters on my team, son. I appreciate you here on that side.
It's like, oh, you see someone running self-care? Dodge.
Yeah, bro.
Soul Survivor? Dodge.
True that.
Someone going for an Adepta challenge?
Oh.
Absolutely not. Dodge.
Dodge that.
And the worst part is, we already know how this plays out because of the recently deceased Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which also had this feature, and it completely blew up in their face. People dodged so much, the devs of TCM added in a 3-minute penalty to dodging pre-game lobbies, which just made people start DCing on the loading screen and in-game instead.
And not only that, it's gonna make people quit. They're not gonna. Nah, I'm not playing this game. I'm out. Why the hell am I gonna stick around this game for? I got Dead by Daylight. You know what I mean? Like, I'm out. So you try that noise here, bro. I'll go to GTA quick.
So you cannot punish people into cooperation. It just doesn't work. And don't forget, this is Dead by Daylight. People are already dodging lobbies now just based on cosmetics alone.
Who's the content creator? Is it Probs? Like, he'll sit there for like 30, 45 minutes dodging lobbies. If you have like a private profile or you don't have so many hours, he'll leave the lobby, bro, and he'll do that for like 45 minutes before he gets into a game, bro. You know? I mean, I know like people feel like he fell off and stuff like that, man, but I see a little bit of me in that, man. Right. I see a little bit. I mean, that might be a little extreme on the extreme side, but I understand, right? Like, I don't want no bums on my team either. You know?
Build visibility, and it's just gasoline on the fire. And those are only the egregious examples. Tryhard players will dodge anything that isn't hard meta. Also, for those who don't know, when a survivor dodges a lobby, that lobby becomes high priority, meaning it will severely loosen matchmaking parameters to fill that spot as...
Remember I told you guys about backfill lobbies? This is what he's talking about, bro. This is me popping up in a lobby, dodging all of them and popping up in a good lobby, right? You see the flashlight, the med kit. If I see the build right here and I see finesse and windows and decisive strike or something like that, bro, right? I'm staying. I'm here to stay. This is me popping up in the backfill lobby, man, right? Staying with you guys.
Quickly as possible to get the match started, meaning horrible match quality, with teammates who are unfairly matched way outside of their actual MMR bracket. So although in theory this is a nice change, the reality is that it will crash and burn when given to the DBD community, or really any competitive community.
Right.
Players want to win, and in DBD a lot of matches are decided in the pre-game lobby.
True
so
that.
if you don't think competitive players are going to be taking that extremely seriously, you're going to be in for a rude awakening.
It's number one on my list, baby. It's number one right now. He ain't lying.
Also, to add to that point, this will not work if it's only showed in the loading screen either, because players will just Alt F4 or dashboard.
True that.
Only is probably the best route, but it's still not very practical to research your teammates' builds during an active match where every second matters, right? Have fun reading your teammates' builds while trying not to get chainsawed. So yeah, this is a nice...
Bro, did you see the comment? Who left that comment? Let's see. Drawstrings ain't lying, bro. I'm dodging on this build right here, bro. The joy running this. If I see this, bro, I'm out. Okay, I'm out. I'm not gonna stay in this guy's lobby either, bro. I'm out of this one, bro. Let's continue.
Idea in theory, like I said, and a complete disaster in practice. All right, next up, maps and keys. These are getting huge buffs, like weirdly big. So during the live stream, the devs stated the reason they are making this change is because right now, basically only 2 of the available 5 items are useful. I think meaning medkits and flashlights, which is pretty scary to imply that toolboxes maybe aren't strong enough. So if that's where their mind is at, then you can only imagine how strong they want maps and keys to become in order to compete with that level of strength. So first up is maps. Maps are being converted to essentially being windows of opportunity in a bottle.
Wait, what, bro? Is that facts? Like, is this speculation or is this facts?
Instead of bringing the perk, you can now bring a map that will effectively do the same thing as Windows of Opportunity, but possibly even stronger. Let's stop to think about that for a second. Behavior is taking by far the most used survivor perk in the entire game and allowing survivors to bring it into a match as basically a 5th perk.
Bro, all this is showing me, okay, check this out. I see it now. I see it. MMR update. Okay, all this stuff. They're gonna quarantine the vets to like a room. They're gonna quarantine us into one part, and they're gonna change the game for the Timmies that are all. They're preparing for the Timmies and Rogers, bro, to take over a mass influx of sucks. You know what I'm saying? They're done with us. They're done with everybody who's been playing the game. They're preparing for the influx, and they're going to try to make it as survive. And they know in their mind, okay, more people are going to be playing Survivor than actually playing Springtrap, but they want to play against String, right? You want to be chased by them, right? Because you're a fan and you always want to know what it was like to be chased by one of them. And now you're going to get your opportunity. So now they're going to handhold all these new people while quarantining us with MMR to one side, right? And the Timmies and Rogers are going to be having a blast with the windows of opportunity maps and stuff like that, man. If you guys don't see what I see, I don't know.
And I would be shocked if it doesn't come with an add-on that allows you to pass the effect onto your teammates as well. So, and this is speculation, but that's potentially one item freeing up 4 perk slots for the entire team while still allowing the other teammates to bring in broken items. Like, imagine the reverse of this. Like, if killers got pain resonance for free just by bringing in a lunchbox. Sounds totally fair and balanced, right? Now, if anyone watching this doesn't understand why Windows of Opportunity is such an insanely strong perk, or think it just shows you where pallets are and nothing else, you don't surely understand why the best players in this game consistently run Windows even when they're in a 4-man Swift. The way in which you can use Windows to perfectly optimize routing is
right. That's exactly why I use it. I like it for solo queue because when the Dwights and the Bills and the Davids, bro, when they use up all the pallets, I know, okay, I can't run the Killer Shack. There's no pallet there, bro. And at the same time, it helps you chain your loops better.
Where its actual strength lies. So now we're taking maps, an item that is completely fine how it is, and literally gigabuffing it to broken status so that it matches the value of other broken things in the game, instead of reevaluating the strength of those other items to begin with. Again, this is something the build currency system would have prevented. But let's move on to keys. Keys are being reworked into essentially becoming an on-demand form of aura reading on the killer. How fun is that? Now, this already exists as the Blood Amber add-on, but it's going to become the focal point of the entire item base kit, and we already know just how much value Behavior is looking to put into the design of these item reworks. They want that
M1 killers are gonna be cooked with these add-ons
to be very strong. So we can expect keys to have a longer use duration, range, and most likely, again, an add-on that shares the aura reading with the entire team as well. If this is combined with something like Eyes of Belmont, it will essentially allow the survivors to have permanent wall hacks on the killer the entire match, or at least when it matters most. Who needs to learn check spots when it's literally impossible to win a mind game, am I right? Also, with how strong they want to make these items, I'm already clenching my cheeks for the brand new Survivor item they're going to bring to the game this year. Is it going to be a trap for the killer like a landmine, or maybe it's going to be the smoke grenade from one of the earlier events? Something like that would probably be my guess. And look, I already know where this is going. Brute strength perks and perks like Franklin's Demise are going to shoot up in use to counter this overpowered nonsense. And then Behavior is going to be like, whoa, these perks are being used a lot. Maybe they're a wee bit too oppressive, and then they're going to get nerfed too. I just can't wait for it. So now,
he's right. That's how it happens. Damn, he ain't lying. Like, they're gonna nerf whatever overpowers their items and add-ons and whatever they're trying to do in the game. The killer side gets nerfed. They're trying their best to bring it to 50-50, bro. Like on kill rates. You shouldn't win as much as the Timmies. You're like, I don't know.
let's move on to base kit anti-tunnel, anti-slugging, and anti-camping. Starting with base anti-tunnel. I think this one is actually pretty obvious if you've been listening closely over the past year. I'm speculating they're going to add base kit decisive strike, albeit a slightly weaker version, like with maybe a 3-second stun, and then the actual DS perk that we have now will be reworked into additional time added to the stuns, sort of like what happened with borrowed time when it became base.
Imagine getting stunned for 8 seconds, bro.
base kit. So not to sound like a doomsdayer, but it is completely possible that we might be looking at a future with an 8-second stun
8 seconds.
decisive strike.
3, 5.
They'll move it down to 6 seconds after the PTB. All right, a base anti-slugging. I mean, the only option left here is some sort of base kit unbreakable. I'm not sure what that would look like exactly, like, because there's a few different ways they could go about it, but I'm fairly certain this is the only possible option left on the table at this point.
My goodness.
They've already let survivors DC and skirt a loss, so honestly, like, what is left besides just making the killer die on the spot for the act of slugging? Lastly, there's base kit anti-camp. do your hands feel held enough yet? Can you cross the road by yourself? Do you feel like you have the courage to play the game? So what's left?
Let's go, man. The whole thing, bro. I've been saying that since the beginning of time. How many more chances they need, bro? Stop holding their hands, man. Like, make them work. They don't want to work, bro.
They can do to prevent camping at this point. I guess they could add the anti-camp progress to the solo queue HUD to help solo queue out. Maybe they'll visibly show the survivors the radius of the anti-camp so they know exactly where to stand to avoid slowing it down in game. They could also potentially add something like base kit camaraderie that slows hook progress down if the killer is nearby. Don't worry though, I'm sure it will deactivate in the end game. I don't know, guys. It really feels like the devs want to create Blight by Daylight with all of these ridiculous changes coming to the game this year. I know a lot of it's speculative, but recently my predictions about behavior's horrible balance decisions are not only correct, but I end up being too lax and they actually end up doing something even worse than I imagined. So honestly, anything is possible at this point. So what about the killer buffs coming to the game? Good question. Another prediction I'm making is that the survivor spawn change that has been seemingly removed from the quality of life update to-do list will never actually make it to the live version of the game because it's the only true killer buff in the entire lineup. If it ever manages to find its way to a PTB, the outcry that it's too unfair for solo queue players will be so overwhelming that behavior will either completely revert it or they'll release it in a much more pathetic state than they originally planned. If only this same energy from the community could be applied to mid and low tier killer experiences as well. And finally, we have the
man. Can you imagine, bro? Like, we haven't had. What is the last feature that the killers got for their side, man? Can anybody tell me what was the last feature we received? Because the hiding in corners, the last two, it's still not live, right? It takes 10 minutes. Bro, it should be like 4 minutes. You know what I'm saying? What is the last good thing? I'm gonna wait real quick. I just want to, let people, especially if it's a YouTube video. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it? Crazy, man.
The MMR revamp. This is a big one. They're going to start accounting for more than just kills and escapes when calculating matchmaking rating. Now, I want you all to remember something. Not long ago, Patrick, the former behavior lead game dev, said that there were too many variables to do this properly, and now behavior is like, nah, we'll just wing it. The result, you're going to get some Frankenstein version of the old PIP system mixed with MMR, and it's not going to work. Like, if I 4K by slugging everyone and bleeding them out, I win, but under the new system, I might lose MMR because I didn't hit the right performance metrics. This is just an incredibly short-sighted change. The old rank system wasn't perfect, but it made way more sense than whatever this is going to end up being. Just go back to that, fix the cheese, and move on.
Bro, he ain't lying. When I first started playing Dead by Daylight and it was rank-based matchmaking, bro, like, that was when that's where I learned. That's where I got really good at the game, because as you're trying to hit red ranks, man, and all your matches are tough, right? For the most part. You get to red ranks, man, playing all red ranks. You already knew these guys were good. And it was every game. If you wanted to be rank 1, you had to earn it. Bro, let's get back to that, bro. Let's earn the rank 1s, bro. Let's get back to that. What happened, man? What happened? Where did we go wrong, guys?
Say what you will, but Patrick was right. There are quite literally too many variables to take them into account to create a truly accurate MMR system. So what that means is that behavior is going to go full sunken cost on keeping the MMR system no matter how badly designed it is. And the more you sit down and think about it, the more reasons you'll uncover why this is going to be a waste of time and a total disaster. So another year, another pile of changes were
Wait, hold up. Let's back up. I'm listening to what he's saying, but I'm looking at the gameplay in the background, and this whole time, these survivors are all in the same corner.
Another pile of changes where behavior buffs survivor base kit to oblivion and then wonders why killer mains are salty. And yeah, I get it. A lot of this is speculation on my part, but if history tells us anything, it's that my worst case scenarios are usually not pessimistic enough. That about wraps it up though. I'm annoyed that behavior is yet again forcing me to lawyer up in favor of killer mains. But like if you can't see the insane bias towards survivor in this era of DBD, then please let me know which type of glue you're sniffing so I can order some myself, because goddamn. But with all that said, let me know how you feel about the topics discussed in the video. Am I doomsdaying? Well, if I am, I have quite literally laid my sack ward on the table, and
okay, so wait,
we'll
what?
all be
Pause,
able to see
son.
how many of my predictions come true for the rest of 2025.
Pause.
TCM. And with that, as always, much appreciated for watching the video. Make sure to leave a like or
pause. Vito's in the house, man. What's up, Wolf? Hope you're well. I'm good, man. Been here for 34 months, man. Vito's been here for 34 months, bro. Let that sink into your minds. It's almost 3 years. My guy dropped a pause on us at the end, man. What was that? Like, we got teabagged, man. Anyway, but my overall view is they're making it Timmy Rogers sided. And they're gonna update MMR to quarantine us, man, to the vets and people that are good. They're gonna try to keep us away from the money spenders, man. Because you imagine how much spring traps. If they don't do something about servers, bro, it's gonna be a wrap for a minute. I say a good 3 weeks. And if the devs are smart, like they did with the ghoul, they come out with spring trap just overpowered. He's got to be OP for a good month, maybe even 2 months before they nerf him. But they're going to bring him out. He's got to be tough from the start, right? And you want to sell. Everybody's going to be playing Springtrap for. They're going to bring on an influx of people, okay? It's going to be insane. That's my prediction. I could be wrong. But my prediction is that's what happens. But what they're doing is they're prepping the game for Springtrap because they know there's going to be a lot of new players and they're going to need help. So to hell with people that have been playing this game for years. Who cares? Who cares? You know, we have to protect the new players, and if we got to give base kit unbreakable, anti-tunneling to the max, and stuff like that, then by all means, money talks, not your loyalty. We don't give a damn about your loyalty. Money talks. So if people join up, they're like, I don't want to play this game, man. I don't get to do none of this. These guys just go for me only. They're gonna fix all that, son. You know what I mean? So